Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this lovely Saturday session of Gogglefrogs. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but Angela has been slightly delayed, so I've started the session, and she'll be with us shortly, I'm sure. So I do hope you're keeping safe and well this Saturday morning. There doesn't seem to be many of us in the chat room either at the moment. So, hey, here we go. Nothing like being caught by surprise. So, whatever you're up to, I hope that you have a lovely cup of something with you. As you can see, I've got my tea in my Gogglefrogs mug. Nice and hot. And I have some knitting with me as well, should I have time to get to it. Let me just take it out of the bag. And there we go. So do tell us what you were up to yesterday, because obviously it's Friday. We don't do Gogglefrogs on Friday. And during the day Thursday, let us know what you got up to. We've been decorating in this house, and it's been a little bit frustrating because I've hurt my back, so I've not been able to help as much as I would have liked to have done. So Gary, bless him, has been redecorating his office so it looks nice and fresh for when he starts work again on Monday. So I've been doing quite a bit of background Gogglefrog stuff, as well as some knitting. So there we go. So I've now got a second, as you can see there, a second light pink stripe in this shawl. And this ball doesn't seem to be getting a lot smaller, even though it definitely is, because this is getting bigger. So it'll be interesting to see how far that remnant actually goes, and whether I need to start the next full ball that I have to get it finished. So let's catch up with some chat. So Brigitte says good morning. Good morning to you. Grace says good morning. Judy says morning, just popping in. Got a Zoom meeting later. Hope everyone is well. Tricia says morning, folks. Just a short stay before a Zoom meeting at 10:30. Starting a shawl cowl. Just choosing my yarns. Georgie says good morning. Dawn says good morning, everyone. Just had a lovely but humid walk around Linslade Woods. Yes, I can imagine that would be quite humid. It looks like it's going to rain today, but it's not forecast until about 2 o'clock in the morning. So that'll be quite an interesting day. Let's see if there's anybody in the chat who you haven't said good morning to. So Grace, good morning, Grace. Hope you're keeping safe and well as well. Right, let's go for today's music. I wanted something quite relaxed and quite chilled out this morning. So I knew in my head what I wanted, and I went to find it, and I found this instead. So I hope you enjoy. Here we go. Welcome to Gogglefrogs, where anything can happen. So never mind. We will just persevere. Hang on 1 second. Angela is messaging me, so let me just message back to say join me as I started. There we go. Angela will be with us very, very soon. Lindy says, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Lindy. I hope you're well. That music thing has just thrown me a little bit. I'll wait for Angela and then see if I can fix it. And then, because the version that I wanted to play did play. And then when I found this one, I'm very surprised that it's now not playing. So we will get there. Do not worry. We will bring you music. I think Angela has just joined. There she is. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Sorry.
Sorry, we're having a few technical issues this morning.
Oh, why? What's happening?
Well, we can't get the music to play.
Oh,
To start with, it's coming up as blocked, even though I only put it on an hour ago. But we will get there. Do not worry.
good morning, everybody. Apologies for being a few minutes late. Let me get my pattern out so I can continue with this beautiful pattern. Haven't done any since Thursday's Gogglefrogs, I don't think.
Really?
Was it? Yeah, I don't think I have. Oh no, I may have done a couple of rows, but not that much. Right, so have you done much knitting?
I've done a couple of rows on my shawl.
Have you?
Not many, though. Yeah.
I think yesterday I got up at 6 and we just continually, what should we say, just continually drove. So I didn't actually get home here until about 6:30. So yeah, so we visited my dad yesterday and then drove down from Leeds to down here, and then I had to go and pick up things shopping, and then I had to drop things off in different households, and then I got home. So yeah.
I'm just going to refresh back in a second.
Oh dear, I hope he comes back. Last time people refreshed, we lost them forever. So let's hope it's not another technical issue. I'm sure it isn't. And no, he's back.
No, it's all right. So the music I first wanted to play that went in, I then replaced with a second version, which won't play. So I've now just put the first version back in, so we can still have music. So, here we go, folks. Something nice and chilled and subdued for this overcast Saturday morning. Here we go. There we go. So the version that I was going to show, I've just posted the link to in the chat, was actually at an award ceremony where he was being presented with an award, but he couldn't go because he'd hurt his voice. So he was on bed rest. So they invited somebody to come and sing Nathan Dormer on his behalf, and you would never ever think this person would replace him to sing it. But what made it even better was they didn't sing it in Italian, they sang it in English, and it's the first time I've ever heard it in English. It's not as nice, I have to say, but it was Aretha Franklin singing Dormer. I know. And that's the version I wanted to play this morning. Honestly, have a look at it if you can. If you get time later, open it up, watch it later. Brilliant.
Can you
It really
into Gogglefrogs as well?
I will do.
We lose the chat, don't we, on the replay? So if you want to play it, then that's really good. Thank you.
Posted. There we go.
You're a star. Thank you.
Here is what I wanted this morning. There we go. Done. Posted. Right.
Oh, thank you so much.
So you had a good drive down yesterday, and the visit with your dad was good.
Yeah, we had a long drive down, but it wasn't long because there isn't much traffic on the roads. But yeah, it was lovely. So we saw my dad, which was amazing. And when I caught up briefly with Robert yesterday, I said that when we arrived there, very organised, and we had the PPE gowns given to us in a bag. When you look at anybody in the caring industry, they wear like it's just a plastic apron. We had Burberry gowns, so they were from here down to the floor, and they tied at the back, and they had big cuffs, and we had our what is it taken? Our temperature taken, and then we had to have the things on our shoes, we had to wash our hands, put the gloves on, and we had to sit over 2 meters away. So my dad was on a settee at the other side, but it was really, really nice, really nice. So only 20 minutes, and we just get 20 minutes every two weeks. That's it. But it's better than nothing. And it's really interesting to hear that there's some care homes who are saying they've had some mild cases, but they've been really, really good. And then I was talking to somebody yesterday when, 50% of the residents had sadly died, and that's one where the ratio of staff, etc., is so low. They put them to bed at 2:30 in an afternoon because there aren't enough staff. And the one that my dad's in at the moment, it's just there's so many staff. It's untrue, but there is no expense spared in terms of PPE. It's just lovely to see that they care so much. And if somebody's got a sniffle, it's just like, no, you're going home. And we were chatting with them and having a bit of a giggle with them yesterday because they said, anything, it's just like, no, you've got to go home, even if your temperature's even slightly close to it, that's it, you're not allowed in. So yeah, it's really good to hear and see. So we had a lovely day yesterday, so nice. So there'll be lots of families at the moment thinking, whoopee, we can now see our loved ones, which is brilliant. So yeah, but when you're driving, you can't nick, can you?
No.
I do keep wanting the Tesla to be able to drive us. That's all I want a Tesla for, so it can drive me and I can nick.
Oh dear.
I know. Normally people say to me, oh, but if you were driving, you wouldn't want the Tesla to do that. No, I don't. I want a Tesla and I want it to drive for me. And I just want to nick for 3.5 hours. Oh dear. Right, okay, what am I on now? I'm on row 2 now. Again, in my 4 repeat. Oh, that's wrong.
I was just about to say that's getting frogged then. And you haven't even done a stitch yet.
I've done 1 row. I did 1 row when Pav was on. It's just
Right.
That's it. Because I've done row 3. Have I?
Yeah. So if you've done row 3, you want row 4, whereas you started by saying you're going to do row 2.
No, it is right. Sorry, I'm right. It's fine. Knit 8.
Right. Catching up on chat. Deborah joined us. Good morning, Deborah. Brigitte says, oh, that's so beautiful. Deborah says, thank you, Robert. Magical, wonderful Pavarotti. Lindy says, such a fabulous voice. Great start. Thank you. Georgie says, that was lovely. Lindy says, so glad you could actually be with your dad, Angela.
Oh, thank you.
And then Georgie says, that'd be wonderful to have a car that drove itself.
What?
Georgie says, that'd be wonderful to have a car that drove itself. And Lindy says, I wouldn't trust a self-driving car, but would love a chauffeur in those circumstances.
I know. I just want the self-driving car, and I want it to be in the future. It will happen. Like, we will not drive cars in the future. We will just sit there and it will move. I'm sure it will. Might not even have wheels. Maybe it just elevates and goes on some electric cable. We don't know. Or like a little hovercraft. But I can't wait until you can just put in the destination, the new sat nav, point and take me there. So it would just be so nice. So nice. I've got another exciting treat as well, talking about families. My in-laws are coming over tomorrow for lunch, and Alan's mum has not left the house since this has all happened, really. So
Oh,
that's really lovely that they're going to come over tomorrow, and I'll cook a nice lunch. So that would be lovely. So I'm really looking forward to that. And my mum will love it as well, because my mum's with me. So it'd be really nice if we can all have a chat.
yeah.
And I can knit.
And will it be the first time Alan's seen his mum since lockdown?
No, he has been over there a couple of times to see them. When he didn't at all during normal lockdown, but then over the last month, I think he sat in the garden and had a cup of tea. And then a week or so ago, he did go and see them. So yeah, that would be nice. I think it's just as long as you've got your little bubbles connections, you're fine, aren't you? So but they just haven't been out. Well, his dad goes out. His dad goes out to Marx's all the time to get his food shopping. And then we said, it's okay, we'll do your shopping. No, it's all right. The car needs a run. So I think his dad just likes going out for a walk, and you can keep your distance when you go. I mean, Marx's some days there's practically nobody in it, so you can social distance about 4 or 5 meters, to be honest. But yeah, so that'll be really exciting tomorrow. Right, there we go. And I think the colour's about to change.
You think what, sorry?
Oh no, I've got a little bit longer. It's going to change to orange next. Do you know what?
And I'm seeing you today as well, aren't I?
Yeah.
To finalise the details for next Saturday.
Yes. So exciting.
Very, very excited.
We're very excited about this. Very, very
we are
excited.
really excited.
So that's going to be so good. So we need to finalise everything today. Yeah. So that's good. So whatever time works for you.
Okay, I'll need to find out what Gary's up to. I haven't heard a lot of noise from him this morning, so just have a quick catch up with him after we're done, and then I'll message you.
All right, okay.
It'll be nice to see your mum as well.
Yeah. Oh, my mum said this morning. I said, "Oh, either I'm going over to Robert's or Robert's coming over here." And Mum said, "Robert, with the lovely voice and the lovely face, Robert." So yeah, my mum's really excited to try and see you.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh.
So Tricia says, "I would love a car that came and picked me up, would save the stress of parking." I don't mind parking. I can't reverse park for Toffee. I have to forward park and then reverse out, which really annoys Gary. But then I don't like being a passenger. I mean, Gary's trying to find a parking space because he stresses so easily about not being able to find a space. So kind of with you on that one. Dawn says, "Can't knit or crochet or read in the car, makes me car sick. It gives me a migraine. So on long journeys, I have to talk to hubby." Oh. Dawn, Brigitte says, "That Dawn, I found cross stitching tricky, kept missing the holes on bumpy roads." Yes, I can imagine that would be. I tried crocheting and it was horrible. So apparently the best thing to do is knit in the car. Lindy says, I had a face-to-face committee meeting in the chair's garden on Wednesday for the embroiderers, and it was nice to actually be able to see them and talk without doing it through the screen. Really great couple of hours. Oh,
I love
really
that.
Nice. Georgia, she doesn't like parking either.
I love parking. I love parallel parking, reverse parking, and I can get into very, very tight spots. But when I passed my test, not long after I passed my test, I moved down to London, and I lived on a street where parking was at a premium, so you had to be able to get into tiny, tiny, tiny little spaces. So if I have to, I will, but I don't mind parking. Next time you're going to see me, I will totally mess up my parking, won't I?
So two areas for staff parking. On one of them, you have to reverse park. You can't front park how I like to park, because you're not allowed to reverse out of the spaces because it's too pedestrian, too not pedestrianised, too dangerous to do it because it's in the goods yard. So I only have a park in there if I'm one of the first in, so nobody has to see me reverse park and muck it up 50,000 times. Or if I'm one of the duties for the day, because then I get a dedicated parking space, in which case I just can't park, because by the time I leave in the evening, I'm allowed to reverse out because there's nobody going through it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
for me, parking, I cannot go in frontwards. I just can't get the car. I always think I'm going to hit things when I go in frontwards, so I have to reverse. It's really weird.
I'm sure you don't normally reverse park when we're together. I don't think so, anyway.
I don't know. Only if it's big space. If it's a little space, I always think, why don't people reverse park? How can you go in frontwards? I just find it really odd.
Deborah says, haven't driven through lockdown. Hubby drives everywhere, don't miss driving, and especially parking. George says it would freak me out trying to get into tiny spaces. I stress too much.
Oh.
Deborah says, I never learned to reverse park.
Wow.
Brigitte says it cracks me up when people struggle to reverse into a parking spot at a supermarket and then struggle to get their shopping into the boot. I know. That's why supermarkets, I never reverse park, because you just don't know whether you're going to be able to get to your boot or not. Yeah. Judy's going, another meeting. Trish is going, got another meeting as well. Well, ladies, have a good weekend.
Yeah, have a good one. Oh. Well, I've done very little on this cardigan, so I think everybody's going to finish theirs before I finish mine. But hopefully I'll have a few hours tonight and tomorrow night to do a little bit of knitting, so that should be good. I'm still really, really enjoying this wool. I really like it.
I've not used any of my swell yet.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, it is really nice. Because that Northern Nights you said about, I really like that one as well. It's a really nice wool to knit with.
I thought you crocheted with it.
Well, yeah, I crocheted with it. Yeah, I didn't knit with it, did I? So what are your plans today then, Robert? And what's everybody else's plans?
So I'm coming to see you.
Yeah.
I need to go and do a food shop because we've hardly got anything in the house. I need to help Gary put stuff back in the office in the vain hope. And I say it's a vain hope because I'd hoped that I'd have my room back today, but I've told him I want my room back tomorrow. I don't think that's going to happen. But he needs to be ready to go back to work on Monday. So he's got to have some sort of desk and computer set up in there.
Right, okay.
And then that's about it, I think. Probably a film tonight, some more knitting later.
Oh. So hopefully, so does that mean that tomorrow, hopefully you've got a chill day?
No.
Oh.
No, because it's back to work on Monday, so I've got to get all the ironing done for the week. And I need to put my room back together to be able to do the ironing.
I can do your ironing for you.
No.
Honestly, bring it over. I'll do your ironing. I've got a new iron.
No.
I like my new iron. Yeah. So I'd be happy to
I've
do
got
it.
dry cleaning as well.
You are?
Got to pick up my dry cleaning as well.
All right, okay.
Lindy says, I found the Northern Lights yarn I was given at Sheringham really nice and soft, very easy to work with, had a good drape too. That's what I've got to do as well. I've got to do some Sheringham stuff before I go back to work on Monday. Brigitte says, I only watched the Celebrity Gogglebox, have spotted Maureen Lipman crocheting during the programme. Oh, wow, that's interesting. I wonder if she crochets when she's on set as well, in between scenes. Or even in hair and makeup. That would be brilliant, wouldn't it? You could just imagine that. Stars knitting and crocheting while they're getting ready to go on set. Deborah says, lazy day ahead, not much planned, so knitting on the menu, I think. Well, good for you. Brigitte, where's Angela gone? I have no idea, unfortunately. When we don't do it together, I don't get to know what's going on. So I suspect she's probably lost signal, but she will come back, I'm sure. So I wonder where all our normal regulars have gone for Saturday, because we don't have Marion Dye either. Her circle has gone pale. Her circle? Didn't know she had a circle. I'm guessing there must be some sort of function. It's first day of school holidays as well, isn't it? First weekend of school holidays. That might be why. Not that I know these things, but you know. Not having children, you don't really understand school holidays and what happens, other than the roads go very quiet because there's no cars. Deborah says, people getting back to normal life, I suppose. Yes. Brigitte says, above the picture, now yours has disappeared, but you're still on the screen. Oh, okay, not sure about that one. She'll be back, do not worry. Anyway, you might want to carry on looking at my lovely face for a little bit, because back to work means no, I don't get to join you for Gogglefrogs. So Monday I won't be here. Tuesday I will be here. Wednesday night I will be here. But then Thursday, not me, just Angela. And then I'll be back with you on Saturday. So you get me 3 times next week. And then the week after, you will get me twice, I think, because I'll just have my day off during the week and the evening session. That's assuming my day off isn't Friday. I don't think it is. I don't normally have Fridays off unless I'm off the weekend. But I move area the week after next as well. Tracy says, have you enjoyed your week off? Well, I've had 2 weeks off. And it's been okay, thank you. I've got a lot of knitting done, which is good. We had Gary's mum down, which was also good. The weather's been a bit disappointing, but I think we've made the most of what we can, considering we didn't want to go away in case we ended up somewhere where we had nothing to do. And he's decorated his office, so that's a good thing. And I've done lots of secret Gogglefrog stuff. As well. So chat, let's catch up on chat. Deborah says, we will miss you, Robert, but nice you can join sometimes. Yes, and I will carry on joining for as often as I can. Dawn says, there must have been about 100 children and parents in the park next to Greenleaf School at 4 p.m. yesterday. Lots of people around here having street parties celebrating end of term. Thought most parents would be glad to keep them in school. Well, that surprises me because there shouldn't be many kids in school, should there? I wouldn't have thought. Georgie says, apparently the swimmer Tom Daly knits in between swimming events. It was either in the Wall Loft or Black Sheep Wall's Facebook page. Yes, so he took up knitting at the beginning of lockdown, and he's been making stuff for his son. He made a poncho, which was the last thing that I saw. And I did invite him to come to a Gogglefrogs, but with the thousands of other messages he gets on Instagram, I'm sure that's probably why we haven't seen him, because he won't have seen it. But if you want to reach out to him, anybody, then please do, and tell him how lovely it is to sit and knit and indulge for an hour. You're more than welcome to. Deborah says, secret Gogglefrog stuff, intriguing. Yes. All will become clear next Saturday, I promise you. Absolutely promise you. We've been just thinking about, so we're doing a wool event next week, which you know about, and we've just been thinking about how we're going to package it up and send it to you, and how we're going to make it nice, and then what other kind of things need to happen as part of the wool event. Dawn says, at Georgie Day, interview Tom Daly on the Lovecrafts podcast. Oh, Gary's a bit obsessed with Tom Daly, so I might have to go and listen to that one. Lindy says, we will miss you. Do you find it difficult to keep track of your on-off times? I found it difficult sometimes to remember what day it is during lockdown. Yes and no. During lockdown, I definitely did struggle with what day it was. And then when I went back to work, because I wasn't on my normal rota, that didn't help either. But then when the shop opened, although I've had to tweak my hours, they didn't change my days. So that kind of helped. And then knowing that I was only going to be there for like 3 weeks after opening and then have 2 weeks off, that was good. But it would be nice to get back into some sort of routine. And the fact that I'm changing area as well will help, because it'll mean I'm learning new stuff and it'll keep me motivated and occupied for a while as well. Brigitte says, at Lindy, you're not alone there. Louise says, good morning, just joined you. Good morning, Louise, hope you're well. Louise, just to let you know, Angela's having a few technical difficulties at the moment. Don't quite know what's going on or where she's disappeared to, but she will be back as soon as she can. And it's good that you were able to join us. Sorry, I'm now beginning to realise why I don't usually knit when we're doing this, because I either have to do all the techie stuff in the background, or Facebook page, must do that in a minute, or because Claire and Angela are talking, so that means that I can knit. But knitting and trying to talk to you guys, not great. I don't know how Angela does it when she has to do it on her own. Georgie says, I can't believe that you've been off for 2 weeks. Where has the time gone? I know. It's incredible, isn't it? It's just, wow, disappeared. And disappointing that the sun has decided to finally come out and warm up as we're going back to work. But never mind, such is life. Get to the end of the row and then we'll do the Facebook page. And Angela's messaging as well, so we'll see what's going on with her. Hopefully it's just techie issues and not anything too major. Right, do my increase and then one more stitch, and that's the end of the row. And I will stop there. There we go. Brigitte, when I phone someone, I put the phone on speaker so I can carry on crafting. That sounds lovely. Right, so Angela's having issues. So she's just trying to check her broadband and stuff. And I'm just going to get here we go. Right, let's get Facebook ready. Sorry, I was getting Facebook ready. Let's do there we go. So folks, just remember I can't see the chat. So we'll catch up on chat afterwards, but do please feel free to comment or ask any questions as we go through. There's the link to the YouTube video I wanted to show this morning. So just as a reminder, for those that joined after it, an awards ceremony where Luciano Pavarotti was being presented with an award. He wasn't able to attend because he'd hurt his voice and was on bed rest. So Aretha Franklin came and sang Nessun Dorma for him. So I've never don't hear very many women singing Nessun Dorma, but what makes this particularly interesting is it's the only English version of Nessun Dorma that I've heard. Normally it's sung in Italian, and it's very, very nice. Brigitte saying she shall watch it after Gogglefrogs. Fran, hashtag Saturday. I made a knotted hat for my friend's first grandbaby due in October. Oh wow, that's gorgeous. I love those colours, and I'm guessing that's what you made with the regalia wool. Beautiful. Really does strike quite well. I stitched this for you know who for a significant birthday. I had to be careful not to frog as the red thread left marks after a bit. And that's Brigitte. I remember you doing that. Beautiful. I really do like that. In fact, let's show a bigger picture. Oops, no, that's not working. Okay. There we go. So that's the better picture. So it's a sewing machine made out of words, which I think is beautiful. And I've just seen that the bobbin makes the top of the B of bobbin as well, which is lovely. Thank you for sharing that. Oops. And I pressed the wrong button, didn't I? Here we go. Right, let's see what else we've got in there this morning. Deborah decided last night to start another workday scarf with my new skein from Moffy and the Squid. Got in a tangle and spent the whole evening detangling. I needed you, Robert Rowley. Oh, Deborah, if it's still in a tangle, post it to me and I'll sort it out for you. For those of you that don't know, I love untangling threads and messes. Deborah's then posted before the tangle, I think I need a yarn swift as I was wind by hand and sometimes get in a mess. Yeah, I have to say I always used to wind by hand, and then I did buy a swift and a winder, and whilst it's quicker, I still miss the whole therapeutic winding by hand from around the knees or from wherever it's been put on. But I hope you enjoy yours as much as I enjoy mine. This thread, because I bought that as well. That was your fault. After you advertised it, I then had to have it as well. And then that's an old one. So yesterday I posted a link. We don't normally do this kind of thing, but it's £10 off your first order at Bloom and Wild. And I had some of these flowers sent to Gary to say thinking of you as I went back to work and started long days again. They come and they're in buds, which is very unusual because normally when you buy flowers in a supermarket, they've forced some of them out of buds, or when you order through the post, they all come budded out. But this was in buds, so it lasted a lot longer than normal. And he really, really liked them. So there we go. Deborah says, baby shawl finished except to lacy border, which will be lovely, but time consuming, challenged me quite a bit. Took 3 times before I worked it out. Not TV knitting, so might have to cast on something new. I'm guessing that's why you cast on the workday. But I really do like this border. It looks lovely. Very delicate. It'd be nice to see it when the whole thing's finished. Tracy, just to let you know, the backpacks wash up well. Had a little accident with mine yesterday and a box of eggs. Say no more. It's good to hear that they do wash up well. Thank you for letting us know. And if you haven't managed to be able to get yourself a backpack yet, there is one left in on the shop. We are out of mugs. And then, as you know, lots more going on back end of next week as well. So Tracy posted that Thursday. Safia says, thank you for the masks, Linda. They are just right. So there we go. So for those of you that don't know, Linda Phillips is making masks, and she uses £1 for them. No, she keeps £1 for making them. She takes the cost of the materials out, and then everything else she's donating to Macmillan Cancer, and she's raised over £1,000 so far. So well done, Linda, and it's lovely to see that you got them, Safi. And then that's an old post. Marion Dye, confession time as we're having a garage converted into proper storage. I've had to box up all my yarn. This is not all of it, some in the front room and 2 kits in the spare room. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And then lots of people saying there's still room, so you can still buy more. And lots of people saying that they're glad that she's shown it, because then it makes them realise that they don't have as big a problem as they first thought. And then I think we're going back through older posts. Hang on one sec, folks. Hello. Hello, you all right? Oh, okay. Sorry, folks, it's Angela. That's all right. I'm just talking to everybody who's watching. Okay, that's all right. Have you tried rebooting the laptop to see whether that works? Okay, bye-bye. Right, sorry, Angela's having problems getting back in, but she's just going to try rebooting. So Dawn, units have done it again. So distracting. Free pattern, though not for the faint-hearted. Knitted in mohair, silk, lace weight, yarn, and wool fingering yarn held together. The yoke is gorgeous, so pretty. Right, let's see if we can get a better look. Oh, yes. Right, let me just stop sharing that. We will come back to that. And let me show you this. So this is called Together Apart. And it does look really pretty. I love the swirl on the back. Oh, and there it is in a different colour. It's very intricate. Wow. I really do like that. I wonder whether the wool makes the swirly effect or whether it's the pattern. I think that might be the wool. I don't think that's the pattern that does that. But thank you for sharing that, Dawn. That looks lovely. Right, let's go back to, sorry folks. The system doesn't like just chopping and changing pages. Here we go. Deborah, making progress with the baby shawl. Should soon be ready for the lacy edge. Had to frog a couple of rows last night. Could have been the wine. Yes, we did that one Thursday. So this is the shawl that we saw the lacy edge for at the beginning. Dawn shared another pattern. It's not a free one this time, but it's a triangular shawl worked from the top down, beginning with a garter stitch tab cast on. The basic laces worked through the body of the shawl in ombre yarn, and then textured patterns are used with a solid colour yarn. A 3-stitch garter edge is used throughout. There we go. That looks really nice. Let's take a look at that. Marion shared a video from You Faulty Thing about wraps per inches. And then I'm going to say, I think we are all caught up. So thank you very much for those posts, folks. Do keep posting, particularly post over the weekend. So we've got some stuff for Monday. Let's have a quick look. Chat. Deborah says, just to let everyone know, it's Yorkshire Yarn Fest again today on Instagram. Thank you very much for that. Brigitte says, the little hat is so cute. That's Fran's hat, I think. Lindy says, great hat, Fran. And Brigitte's sewing machine picture is absolutely stunning as usual. Yes, it is. Safia says, good morning, lovelies. Good morning, Safia. Thank you for joining us. Angela is just trying to talk to Demio to see if she can get back in. So she will try and join us again if she can. And it's good to see that you've been able to get in. Deborah says, thank you for the offer of detangle. It's very kind. It's done now. Okay. Louise says, I've had masks from Linda and they are great. I've had masks from Linda as well. I had 2 for me and Gary and then 2 for mother-in-law, and all very, very nice material and put together as well. And such a great cause. Deborah says, yes, everyone's work is lovely. Cool. So there we go. Just to let you know, folks, as well as our wool event next weekend, it is also Fibre East. Not finding many details about Fibre East at the moment, but they've got a Facebook page, they've got a website, they've got a newsletter, so do join them. For those of you that have never been, Fibre East is the Bedfordshire wool event. That's held once a year and has quite a unique display of independent yarn shops that come to it. You don't get many big organisations, so you don't get Wool Warehouse or Black Sheep Yarns. You get lots of interesting little venues. So Easy Knits go, the Spotted Sheep, which is our local yarn shop, go, and then you get some come over from Sweden. But what's really nice about Fibre East is you get to see all the sheep as well, because they have a big outdoor part. They bring the sheep with them. Oh, Brigitte's just said Fibre East have changed the days and times. I think they're on from today till the 26th. Oh, okay. So they're doing a week of it. All right. I couldn't find that this morning, but it'd be interesting to see how they're doing it, because I know a lot of other events have struggled this year doing stuff live online. So I will go and check that out later. Okay. Brigitte says she had a notice in Facebook. Okay. Deborah says the online wall shows are great. I think some are better than others. Yorkshire Yarn Fest is good with live videos all day, too tempting. That's why you need to have plans before. So like I have today, because it means that I can't spend a lot of time looking at it, and then I forget. So that's good. So don't do a lot of spending. There we go. Sorry, slightly distracted by my two cats who have been particularly annoying this morning. They don't like the changes in the weather. They really struggle with it. They don't like it when it rains because it means they can't go outside. They don't like it when it's too hot because it means they can't go outside. And they don't like it when it's overcast because it's not warm enough for them to sit outside or inside. Bizarrely. But there we go. Deborah says, ha ha ha, that's a good plan, Robert. Yes, always have stuff to do when you know there's a yarn event on, because then you don't buy. Unless you're going to said yarn event. I wouldn't have been able to go to Fibre East next weekend anyway, so I'm quite pleased about that. There we go. Right, folks, do let us know what you're up to for the rest of the day. I know some of you said you've got knitting on in planned. I know, Brigitte, you've had quite a busy morning already, so I'm hoping that means you're going to have a nice, relaxing afternoon. Lindy says, I agree. The online shows are both tempting and time-consuming, but it's nice to be able to see and possibly support the independents who work so hard on our behalf. Yes, definitely. I completely agree with that. I really, really like that. And you've just reminded me of something, actually, which I need to go back to. So thank you for that. Just pulling up the web page now so I can go back to it. Brigitte says, yes, I'm going to chill most of the day now. Good for you. So I'm going to meet Angela to talk about next Saturday. And then I am going to go and do a food shop. And then hopefully I'll be able to come home and finish putting the office back together so then I can have my room. I keep calling it my room. I felt quite claustrophobic this week, not being able to sit at the PC or use my room. Because bedroom, you can't just relax in unless you're going to bed. So it's just left the kitchen and this room. So it's been quite claustrophobic, even though we live in a big house. Lindy says, I've got to do the minutes from the embroiderers meeting, and then we'll just listen to the cricket if it's not raining in Manchester. Oh, okay. Enjoy the cricket. I'm guessing you'll be doing that with hubby. Deborah says, I tell myself that even if I buy one thing, I'm buying less than I would at a real show. Yeah, I agree with that. You would be, yes. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Brigitte says, thank you for the session again. Deborah says, thanks, Robert and Angela. So, folks, we are almost at 11 o'clock. So, as Angela hasn't been able to get back in, why don't we call it a day? So, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a lovely weekend. Lindy says, Robert, no, Michael's not a cricket fan. He's celebrating Leeds promotion back to the Premier Football. Okay, there we go. Georgie says, I'll be doing some crochet and may watch a nice film. Harry Potter? I think you should treat yourself, Georgie. Dawn says, bye everyone, have a nice weekend. Okay, well, folks, we're going to stop there. So thank you so much for joining us today. Have a lovely weekend, whatever you're up to. And Angela will be with you at 10 o'clock on Monday. And I will be back on Tuesday and Wednesday. See you later. Bye-bye.